It is so great to see you in person, because we speak all the time.
I know, it's just been too long.
I know.
But it's so special every time we see each other.
It is. And I feel like we get closer and closer. I feel like we're sisters.
We
more
are.
Than friends.
Well, I always said we are related, unfortunately, by disease.
It was like a double-edged sword, because the reason for us becoming friends was not great. But so many good things happened,
Absolutely.
Historically.
Absolutely. Starting the Diabetes Research Institute Foundation has been the joy of my life, and the journey has been so special.
We wanted a cure for our kids. So we found this person whose name was Daniel Mintz at the University of Miami. He thought he could cure diabetes with transplanting islet cells.
Even when we had an office in a factory, and the parents who lent us old desks and old chairs because we couldn't afford to buy any furniture.
I remember putting down the floor in the bathroom.
And what about every time it rained, you needed boots to get out?
Oh, yes, it would always flood. We had to educate people first to let them know, hey, this disease affects children, and it's pretty serious, and it's not just watching what you eat.
That was hard, because what are you talking about? Then you're giving them too much sugar, too many sweets.
So you have to talk about the complications, right? Because people aren't going to give to something that was benign. And we got criticized that we were upsetting the patients, and that was affecting their blood sugars, because we were talking about the consequences of diabetes. We would grab anything, any chance to meet people and to raise money and awareness.
The Miami Herald was the kickoff. That story in the Herald, if you remember, brought in quite a bit of money.
And we never would have had the growth that we experienced without that.
What about Highway Holdup?
Highway Holdups was just amazing. It really was, because people would get out on the streets with their buckets.
And then we had walls. And the Bee Gees gave a lot of their time.
They absolutely did.
Barry had the Barry Gibb tennis tournament. Yeah. They gave us a concert.
It was fabulous.
People just wanted to help. Now, you talk about opportunity. That was the defining moment of what we never believed would be our own building.
That's right.
And built 100% by the unions. But it was going around to the unions and speaking and sharing our thoughts, our beliefs.
Dedicating the building was like we had this physical entity now.
Because now we are a place, not just an organization.
You know, one of the things I'll always remember was when the building was in the process of being built. You and I were allowed into the building with hard hats, and we just stood in what became the lobby waiting room and cried.
And hugged.
We could not believe that this was happening.
The walls were up.
Yes.
And the concrete floor and no roof. And we just stood there, I should say.
Yes.
Hugged and cried and said, can't believe it. It still brings tears to my eyes.
Yes. So in the beginning, you know, it was like a selfish endeavor. I wanted Debbie cured. Sadly, you know, it didn't happen, and she passed away, and with Gary too. When Debbie passed away, I remember Debbie was only 2 years old when she was diagnosed, and she passed away at 33 due to complications of diabetes. I could have easily walked away from it. Then, of course, my son Jonathan was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes too. And I remember speaking at her funeral. And I don't know what made me so strong, but I felt I had to address the people and assure them that just because Debbie passed away, it didn't mean it was going to happen to their kids. And that's what research is all about. The people that we met along the way were incredible in one way or another. They gave money, they gave part of their soul. And it was just a collective process that has taken us this far and hopefully will take us to the finish line. And I believe that's going to happen.
I believe that is too, because I know that when Gary was diagnosed, we were alone. There was nobody. There was no diabetologist, pediatric. There was nothing, because they didn't look for it in children. We had no one to talk to that knew anything about what he was going through. It was a tough journey, but it was a journey that we did whatever we had to do. When we met Dr. Mintz is when I realized there is hope. I remember this phone call so clearly. He went to Syracuse and he was a freshman, and I get a call from the doctor, your son has big trouble. He's going to go blind. He has diabetic retinopathy. I couldn't believe it. And there was something we had to do. There was a drive in me that I didn't even know was there. Together we were going to make something happen. But as the years went on and more complications came to him, it was, we just got to keep going. We just got to keep going. So how do you not fight? It may be too late for Debbie and it may be too late for Gary, but it's not too late for John and my granddaughter, Allison.
Yes.
It's not too late for her. So we got to keep going.
Oh, there's no question about it.
You just go until the job is done.
And it will be done.
You wrote a poem when Debbie passed.
Yes.
Can you share it? Or is it hard for you to do?
No, because I say it to myself very often, and it's, there's a hole in my heart where my child used to be, and the pain is so great, it overwhelms me.
That's about right. You speak to all of us who lost children. But again, we just keep fighting, and we'll get there.
We have to.
You know, it's a war.
It is a war.
We're in war.
Right.
And diabetes is the enemy. I believe right now the promise is there more than ever before.
You know, when we think about the whole history of the organization, it really is all about the power of parents. People who are getting involved selfishly. I did. I wanted a cure for my daughter.
It's amazing what the power of family, parents, grandparents, what they can do.
I'm very proud about the role that I played in it. Because who knows what would have happened if I didn't get involved, if you didn't get involved.
I mean, think about it. From going to that little meeting in your office when you had $1,800 in the treasury to where it is now, it didn't just happen.
No, it didn't just happen.
We had an army of fighters.
They were people who wanted to help us, who thought that there was a possibility of a cure.
A possibility of changing the future of health in the world. What better gift can you give?
Yeah. We have to keep inspiring people, talk about our stories, but the fact that things may be different in the future. They don't have to be like our stories ended.
In Debbie's memory and Gary's memory, there's a promise in my heart that no child will ever go through this again. No parents will ever go through the loss. If there's any legacy that we would leave, if we could, was that it's cured for the world. And that's what's keeping me going.
You know, it's little things that keep me motivated, whether it's a tour of the lab or getting together today, reminding each other about our own individual stories.
I'm so proud and pleased that I was fortunate enough to be part of it. Barbara, if we're still on this earth when this cure comes, and I believe this could happen, we are going to celebrate.
Oh, you better believe it.
We are going to celebrate.
But you have to. You can't give up. It's a mission of love and hope.
A mission possible.
Yes, a mission possible.